Welcome to a special tournament edition of Kart Rides with Micah. I'm here at Keya Golf Club with Andrew McDaniel, the golf course superintendent and assistant general manager.
Hi Micah, glad to have you here this week. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to be back in Japan. Should we go have a look and see what's going on this week at the course?
Let's do it.
Did you get much rain this summer?
No, we didn't get much rain this summer. Might be the least amount of rainfall we've had since I've been here at Keya.
Which is 10 years?
This is my 10th year.
And the 9th tournament, 2020, was canceled.
Yep.
And I collected data from the 2013 tournament.
Yep.
And some of the data that I collected during the tournament week included the firmness of the greens, green speed, soil moisture.
Yep.
Has that turned out to be useful for you?
It has. The first couple of years I didn't think much of it, and then you start piling up some of the data, and then you look at to where you can make improvements. It wasn't like we were trying to shoot for a number, but you can, over the years, you can see where you might have room for improvement. And I think we've improved the green speed, the firmness, and whatnot over the 9 years. Yeah.
And what have you done to make the greens firmer?
Less aeration, less top dressing.
That's counterintuitive.
Maybe.
Well, it doesn't seem counterintuitive now because we have the data.
True.
That shows, you know, the maintenance work that you've done, and then you know what the results have been.
Right. But yeah, this past year, only one top dressing. The year before that, one top dressing. In 2020, when COVID was here, we didn't have the tournament, so we thought, oh, it's a good year to go ahead and do an aerification. And we did see a dip in the OM that year, but we've kind of leveled out now over the past 2 years. Looks pretty good so far.
So you've got the organic matter staying relatively constant, and only one sand top dressing in 2021, only one sand top dressing in 2022.
Exactly.
That's very interesting. And we'll see, this week I'll be measuring the firmness, I'll measure the green speed, bobble test, and we'll see how it goes during the week.
Yep, I'm excited to see.
How many people work on the crew here, Andrew?
We've got 15 on the crew, including me and the mechanic. But right now we've got 2 down, one with COVID and one in the hospital with a leg issue.
And is that 15 full-time?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 15 full-time, and then 6 part-timers that come in from May to September to help out with green mowing. And then we got 5 ladies that do the bunker work and flowers and stuff like that.
And how many volunteers will you have?
Oh yeah, volunteers. We got 4 volunteers from two of our other golf courses, and probably 2 to 4 other volunteers from vendors.
Okay, but they're not here all week?
No, it's every day it's different numbers, but mainly from Thursday to Sunday they'll show up.
Good.
About.
And who's this right behind you?
Oh, this is my buddy King. He's 5 years old now. The club mascot, Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Hey, what's this?
Oh, Micah, don't touch that! Don't touch that. That's for the wild boars. That's to keep the wild boars out.
The wild boars.
Yeah.
This is a Inoshishi fence, the famous fence.
Yes. It's an electric fence that goes all the way around the outside of the golf course. So behind this, there are Inoshishi everywhere.
Inoshishi is the wild boar. And
it's Japanese for wild boar, that's right.
Japanese for wild boar. Does every golf course in Japan have one of these fences?
Not every golf course, but most in the mountainsides, or yeah, you would find some type of fence around the golf course. Some have just like a netted kind of steel frame fence around it, or this is kind of hard to upkeep because you have to keep the weeds and limbs from hitting and whatnot. So,
is that why King, your Rhodesian Ridgeback, is here?
Yeah, that was the thought process behind him, but he turned out to be kind of a house dog, and so he doesn't really care much about the Inoshishi.
But if he smells one, he chases it?
Yeah, every now and then he'll smell it, but I think he just wants to play with it. I don't think he wants to really attack it.
He's a friendly dog.
Yeah, he is.
What kind of grasses?
Oh, we have on our tees, fairways, and greens, Zoysia matrella and Zoysia japonica in the roughs, and with a lot of contamination of some Bermuda grass out there too.
And Zoysia on the greens is a bit uncommon for professional tournaments, isn't it?
In Japan, it's the only one on the tour here in Japan, yes. And I would think elsewhere in the world you wouldn't find it very often.
And so how do you go about preparing Zoysia greens, or korai as it's called in Japan? How do you go about preparing that for tournaments?
Well, about a month out, we start backing off the nitrogen just to slow down the growth, and then we really pound it with some PGRs. And about 3 weeks out, we also start rolling every morning, and in the afternoons we'll cut 9 and roll 9, and then alternate that every day. And then starting tournament week, we will double cut in the morning, roll, and then we will in the afternoons cut it again and roll it after that.
And then that gets a green speed of what?
Normally we're trying to shoot for anything over 11. We're happy if we get to about 11.5, but it can be a struggle to get 11.5.
And if you did that type of treatment to creeping bentgrass, what do you think the speed would be?
It might die at this time of the year, but no, it would get pretty quick, I'd imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's the stiff leaf blades of the zoysia that makes it so difficult to get the speed.
Absolutely. The leaf blades are so stiff that it really controls the ball roll, and it affects it in ways that you wouldn't see Bermuda grass or bent grass affect the ball roll.
Andrew, the putt we had to do on the practice green because you've got golfers on every hole. How many groups today, day before the tournament week starts?
I think we have 49 groups today.
So they're all over the course.
Every hole, yeah.
And how many rounds do you do in a year?
Yeah, since COVID, we're back up to around 45,000 rounds a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an average round number in Japan?
Yeah, it's some courses will get up to about 60,000 rounds. You go to the more high-end private clubs, it'll be around 30,000 or so. But yeah, I'd say 45, 50,000 is average for Japan.
How about crew sizes? You said you had 15 full-time. Is that above average?
Yeah, for Japan, it's above average. I'd say a normal golf course would be around 10 to 11 people on the crew.
Andrew, the course is too busy. We can't even get on it to get on the green. So we're here on the back tee on 11. I want to ask you though about the greens. What kind of fertilizer do you use?
We normally use ammonium sulfate or urea and potassium sulfate. That's the main sources of the NPK for our greens.
Now you can't put those as a granular on greens, can you?
Well, you could, but I normally choose to go with ag grade urea, ammonium sulfate, potassium sulfate, and melt it down and put it in the sprayer.
So then you can control the rates.
Exactly. You can control the rates, and I think it's easier to control the growth of the grass as well, going little by little with the
And how do you decide how much to put?
How do you decide how much? Well, you weigh out the urea into a bucket. I like to put down about 0.5 grams of nitrogen per square meter. So we calculate that out to our sprayer and add that to the tank and melt it down and spray it.
But then, like when you're making a nitrogen application, that's the rate that you go.
That's the rate that I go at, yeah.
And how do you know when it's time to make your next application?
I guess mainly by feel, but about once every 10 days, I know that the nitrogen's tailing off. We also check our clipping leaders, so we can tell by that as well. But about every 10 days, we'll go down and put some nitrogen out.
And then the potassium and phosphorus and stuff like that, how do you decide how much to use?
Well, we go by the MLSN guidelines, so we know about how much we need to put out for that year, and we just spread it out over the entire year.
What do you use for fertilizer?
Normally we use urea, 4600. We go down to the ag store, get this bag right here that says Neosol 46 and 20 kilograms. So we're going to weigh out 10 kilograms now and put it in the tank, and I'll show you how long that takes. kilograms weighed out into this bucket here. So there's a net in my Toro sprayer here. It keeps debris and things from falling into the tank before it's dissolved. So we're going to throw the urea into the tank and turn the water on, and I'll show you how it dissolves. Go. I could come in here and I'll show you what the vendors provide for us during the tournament week. So every year we have lots of cases of drinks. If you look back behind you over here, those are big boxes of instant ramen. Lots of different varieties there.
Instant ramen.
Yeah, it's good stuff. You can find it anywhere, I reckon. But we do have a strict alcohol policy here. Just to
alcohol or no alcohol?
No alcohol. Maybe around 8 o'clock at night you can start your alcohol. But if you look here very closely, we have non-alcoholic Asahi, dry zero.
That's very popular in Japan, isn't it?
It is very popular. You'll find it at occasionally at barbecue parties, late night when people are drinking and they're the designated driver. Yeah, those type of times. But this week, no drinking while we're working, so we've supplied the staff with dry zero.
That is a wonderful idea. I wish more tournaments provided non-alcohol beer.
They should. They should. It's a shame they don't.
Do you have an ice cream cooler? Remember at the U.S. Open and other events, sometimes there's an ice cream cooler.
No, we don't have an ice cream cooler. We're trying to cut back on electricity, so no freezers here.
Andrew, thank you for that wonderful tour of the course before the tournament. I know you're very busy.
My pleasure, Micah. We're looking forward to this week.
I am too, and I hope it's good weather.
It looks like it is going to be good weather. We had quite a bit of rain yesterday, but the rest of the week looks pretty good.
Well, I hope I can check in with you at the end of the week. We can look at some of the data, see how it all went, maybe take another cart ride.
That'd be fantastic.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
Andrew.
thank you.